right, what's going on, you guys? Nick here with Nick Strength and Power. I've got a couple of interesting stories for you guys today. The first story that I've got for you guys today, Classic Physique Prejudging. It just wrapped up. So your first call out at the Classic Physique Prejudging, you had the usual suspects in there: Chris Bumstead, Terrence Ruffin, Breon Ainsley, Alex Combernero, but you also had a few newer guys in there. You had Urs Kalsinski, a.k.a. the Miracle Bear. You had Mike the Badass in there, Ramon Roca Curez, and you also had Classy FM in there, Fabian Meyer. So really interesting first call-out. It looked like the results of this call-out are probably going to be what we would expect for the top three. It looks like Chris Bumstead did enough to win, in my opinion. But I'll actually give you guys a hot take that you might not expect from me. I thought that Chris could have been a little bit tighter here. I thought standing next to Rough Diesel specifically, there were some shots where Terrence looked pretty sharp, and I think he even looked sharper than Chris in a lot of those shots. So definitely there's a battle going on here. I felt like they have Alex Combernero in third and Breon in fourth maybe. That kind of looked like the way they were moving these guys around. That kind of looks to me like what was going on. And then maybe Fabi in fifth and Urs in sixth. But I think at the end of the day, not really too far off from what we kind of expected to see here. I mean, Chris Bumstead, the two-time reigning defending champion, I think it's pretty safe to say he picked up a third victory here. But again, I would actually like to see him tighten up for the night show. And I think once we see the scorecards, it might be a little bit closer between him and Terrence than I think we expected it might be. I think Terrence really killed it here. He looked really good. And for me, that's the big takeaway from this prejudging. I think Terrence nailed it. Chris was on, but I just think, I don't know. I just think Terrence looked pretty sharp. He looked sharper than Chris. I got to give it to him. He looked good here. But I think Chris, in all likelihood, is going to pull out another victory. But I want to know what you guys think in the comment section below about this prejudging and about this first call out. How do you guys have it scored? What is the order of your guys' top six in Classic Physique? Do you have Chris winning? Do you have Breon winning? This time there was no call out of just Chris and Breon or just Chris and Terrence. This was, I think it was closer this year. And I think you could see it on Chris's face while he was posing. I think he looked a little concerned. But let me know. Do you have Chris? Do you have Terrence? Do you have Breon? Do you have someone else taking it? That would be even more interesting. Let me know in the comment section down below. Now, next up in the news, this is kind of a surprising one. Me and Phil Heath, we agree on something. So we talked a little bit in the DMs last night, but I saw this today when I got up. I commented some posts about how I felt Hadi should have been in that first call-out. Or not the first call-out, but the call-out with just Brandon and Rami. And Phil kind of agreed with me there. I said they robbed my man Hadi blind. He should have been in that call-out with Brandon and Rami. And Phil says, the fact that the judges adjudicated the 212 so hard with the top three and not here is basically saying that Rami and Curry are that dominant, which they clearly are not. We wanted a battle and didn't get it. They'll do some call-out during the confirmation round, yet will have already made their decision. And then Phil went on to say, the fact that Hadi wasn't in the last call-out is disturbing. Most conditioned even by Sean Reyes. He kept saying, my eyes are going back to Hadi. Even with seeing all competitors, they all agreed he was getting no less than second, and boom, no call-out. Strange, I'm not sitting judge side, but I could easily see that Hadi brought it, and we, the fans, needed to see one solid comparison. So I got to know what you guys think about this one. Do you think Hadi was overlooked? What do you think the reason is he wasn't in that final call-out? I mean, take a look at this front-on shot of Hadi Choopan. He was just sliced and diced at this show. In my opinion, the most conditioned guy on stage by quite a bit. The pictures do him a lot better justice than I think the video did. I mean, he was peeled to the bone. And here, we'll look at some of the comparison pictures from NPC News Online, some of the front shots. You can just see the separation in his quads, the separation in the cuts all around, how deep they are compared to everybody else. But in addition to that, he's not a small guy. It's not like he's some tiny little guy that's cut. He's got a ton of muscle. And, you know, at one point, they even moved Hadi. Not only did Hadi not get that call-out with Brandon and Rami, they even put him in a call-out where they seemed to be comparing him with guys for those 3, 4, 5, and 6 spots, maybe even suggesting that Hadi wasn't like a solid third place for them. I mean, I kind of got the impression at a couple points they were comparing Hunter and Hadi for maybe putting Hunter in third. I just don't know, man. I don't know what Hadi needs to do to get recognized more. I just feel like every year, just a little bit, Hadi gets screwed just a little bit. Each year, he's knocking on the door, but he never quite gets it. But look, like I said, I'm curious to get your guys' take on this in the comments below. I've seen people are kind of torn on the Brandon versus Rami thing, but people seem like they're even more torn on whether or not Hadi deserved to be in that call-out. Some people said hell no, and some people were like furiously hell yes. But anyway, it's an interesting story. For once, me and Phil Heath, we agree on something Olympia-related. Kind of cool. Now, next up in the news, I wanted to actually take a look at the 212 Olympia scorecard. So last night we got to see the top 6 finalists, but we didn't get to see the rest of the top 10 and the rest of the scores, which included some bigger names like Keon Pearson that I'm sure a lot of people wanted to see. So your top 6 in 212. Derek Lunsford took first. In second place, you had Sean Clarita. Kamal El Gagni in third. Very impressed with Angel Calderon Frias moving up into that 4th place spot. It seemed like he jumped up a couple placings after prejudging. Nathan Epler from Indiana. This is only, his 3rd show as a pro. Very recently turned pro. This is his Olympia debut. Very, very impressive placing for Nathan. Ahmad Ashkanani winds up in 6th here. Let's see. So the placing that I wanted to get to was Keon Pearson. So 14th place for Keon, and it looks like there was 17, 18, 19 competitors in 212. So look, to be honest, I don't really know what happened with Keon. To me, it looked like he was significantly off. His conditioning was off. He looked soft. I don't know if something went wrong. Like, I don't know if his prep was, I don't know if something happened during his prep that messed him up, but it seemed like, if you look back at all the guys that were posting updates, it looked like Keon really didn't post anything from like 10 weeks out forward. Keon didn't really show almost anything of his physique. He was posting throwbacks and stuff, but nothing recent. For this Olympia preps, I'm almost wondering if something happened and he wasn't really confident and he knew maybe he wasn't going to look that great, so he was just not posting updates. I don't know, but it was a weird situation with Keon. He was pretty off, and that's what put him in that spot. But, man, I would have liked to see him sharper. I think a lot of people would have, and I think a lot of people would have liked to see him come in a lot higher, place a lot higher here. But look, that's going to wrap it up for the video. We're going to have probably 2, maybe 3 more videos today. But those are the stories, man. Hadi, Choopan, me and Phil actually agree on something. The 212 scorecards. And, of course, the classic Physique Olympia prejudging. So I think I'm probably going to go 3 for 3 on my predictions this year. I predicted Derek in 212. He won that. I predicted Chris to win Classic Physique. I think that's going to happen. And I predicted Rami to win Men's Open Bodybuilding. I think that's going to happen as well. So I think we're going to go 3 for 3 on predictions this year. But let me know in the comment section below, what are your predictions? As always, give the video a thumbs up if you're enjoying the Olympia coverage. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. And as always, I love you guys. Appreciate you guys. Nick Strength and Power signing out.